Leave you laid out on the floor, try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more, claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son, actions over words, baby boy, is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come back. Sports, talking way too much, world come back. Sports, talking way too much, world come back. Sports.
Yo, shout out to the hottest chat in the MF game. You already know we got to get right down to it. I'm not going to be on here extended, but I do want to talk about some things that's very important. As you see my thumbnail, of course, I did put some clarity, some hope is for educational, benefit to those who see the message. It's imperative that I do it. I felt a little bit more motivated today because I went and grabbed one of my college, textbooks. I ended up getting a leaf blower to get the dust off of it, but I cracked it open and I wanted to kind of dig into, what do you call compulsive liars? When they continue to lie all the time. You know what I'm saying? They knowing they lying too. That's why I put Miss Cleo, rest her soul, rest in peace, much respect. I don't know if a lot of you all grew up when Miss Cleo was the shit. Like everything she said, man, she had people going. But I think a lot of people are looking to their Cleo in boxing. They're looking for their Cleo, y'all. That's what I see. They're looking for their Cleo. And that's why you have so much misinformation, false, fraudulent, no authenticity. Straight up lies, man. Straight up lies. We're going to get down to it. Let me go back to the video that you was just looking at. But let me let you listen to something right quick. All right? This is Terrence Crawford. Y'all know who he is. Listen to this. Listen to the champ speak.
Easy for a guy that started at 135 to come all the way up to 168. Yo, weight, no catch weight, no none of that.
Hold on for a second.
Have all these excuses why he don't want to take a fight with me. If it's all about business, then you doing good business. If I'm easy work, I heard him say I'm easy work.
Cap.
If I was easy work, well, you would take all that money that he's offering you. But yet and still, he want $200 million for Benavidez, and he want $150 million to fight me. So
That's
that just
crazy.
lets me know right there that I'm a threat to him. I'm a threat to him. I'm a threat to his legacy, because it would be crazy for a guy that started at 135 to come all the way up to 168. Yo, weight, no catch weight, no none of that, and dethrone you. He have all these excuses why he don't want to take a fight with me. If it's all about business.
So I just want you all to listen to that, because there was a 4th division champ, pound for pound best, Terrence Crawford, speaking on the one and only Saul Canelo Alvarez. And the reason why this is important to speak on is because it just shows you the true colors of these boxing fans. I'm not no way, shape, or form going to explain myself like saying I'm not hating and all that. I'm just telling you all what I believe to be the hot grease. It's always good to cook on something that need to be cooked. It's so many people that depend on the so-called sources, man. The sources aren't really the sources because they're not the ones that's there breaking everything down, knowing for a fact that they're at the door with a clicker. They're able to be God. Do you know a source that's considered to be God? If you don't know a source that's able to be God, then they just like me. They just gonna get information for somebody who's pushing an agenda. Yeah, I said it. It's just a way to push an agenda. If certain people want this fight to happen and they're in collusion with this people, they will try their best to push a narrative. And that's what we see is going on. It's easy to push a narrative in the boxing community because they show, not all of them, but a lot of them, they show that they can continue to submit their applications to be ignorant. They love submitting them out. Submit my application. I just want to see, can I get an upgrade with my ignorance? It's just like asking for a credit report. They want their percentage of ignorance to be high, at the highest percentile possible when it's listening to false information on here. And then what's crazy is that this is real life, right? You know, you have individuals that's been doing this for years and years and years. They've been covering the sport of boxing, but they'll hear something they know ain't right. But they'll talk on it as if it's the nothing but the truth. So help them when they hear it from the God. It's no source. The Carpenters, Idicks, the Raphaels, none of these cats out here are the source. None of them. If you go back to when I did the live stream and I was talking about how when they was doing these cars over in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, no one was talking this freaking pay-per-view language. It is since abandoned. I'm not saying we didn't have no fights over here in the U.S., but it since abandoned the language and the conversational piece because they didn't know shit and they didn't want to talk about it. It was over in Riyadh. They was putting on fight cards. You know, it was what it was. They weren't really talking about anything. The fight can be on pay-per-view. Nobody was talking about the numbers. Nobody, until it comes over here to L.A. and all of a sudden they want to revisit antiquated information. Just because a format is able to be used in the presence of the naive, the ignorant, doesn't make it right, man. It doesn't make it right. You know the information is incorrect, but you continue to think that somebody gives a fuck about pay-per-view numbers. None of them are right. How are you going to sit up here in one case and big up one fighter for doing these numbers, and then another fighter that's on the elite level that's continuing to perform, all because they want to continue to have this portrayal in the media that fighter isn't a seller? Get the fuck out of here. Y'all are pathetic, man. Pathetic, asinine, bro. Lunacy. The same shit over and over again. They want to continue to push the same narrative on these fighters, bro. Y'all continue to say Shakur is not a ticket seller. You can continue to say Devin Haney isn't a ticket seller. Well, all of a sudden, Ryan Garcia fights Devin Haney. They doing grand numbers. Oh, my fault. Ryan Garcia tested positive for Ostarine. But nobody's talking about the numbers anymore. You know, oh, he did the numbers. We just wait till he come back off suspension. He did the numbers, though. It's certain fighters. Look, just think about it. The Tank Davises, the Canelos, the Crawfords. They're not even 1% of boxing. But out of those three, people pick and choose who excites them the most, and that's who they want to push the goddamn narratives from. They say, okay, we'll push this narrative for Canelo when he had 4 fights from Gennady all the way up to Jaime Munguia. Did anyone talk about the numbers? They don't care about the numbers because they busy giving Canelo Alvarez that royal fellatio with ice in their jaws. That's all. Canelo cannot do any wrong with these dudes. Even these so-called source droppers, these sources that's always want to be the first, all they are is a link. They put in all that work and they don't get no extra money for getting that information first. All they are is a laborer. How long are you going to drop information? When is your retirement date? I'm just curious. When is your retirement date? When are you going to drop that one freaking tweet I'm looking for? Hey, I just like to let everybody know that I'm no longer be able to be your source. I'm not the same anymore. I've been making mistakes, spelling, grammar errors and shit. And I got arthritis in my goddamn wrists and my fingers. I'm not the same. I say, just look for Carpenter and whoever else doing it. But it's been great. If you want to send some donations or super chats, I got it in the goddamn bio. You know, I mean, when are you gonna stop? You don't get paid extra money for freaking. You know what I'm saying? You don't get paid extra money for getting this information first. And these guys are guilty, bro. They are guilty of what I'm saying in this thumbnail. Their nose is longer than the biggest sausage you ever seen. You know what I'm saying? Some of you Canelo lovers. You know what I'm saying? Your nose is bigger than a Canelo sausage. You know what I'm saying? They probably like, oh, I've been to Mexico. I had a Canelo sausage with the clenbuterol in it. I love that sausage. It gets you strong. When are y'all gonna wake up, man? Why should I even ask that? Because a lot of you all are awake. You're conscious. You understand. You're comprehending that you're a compulsive liar. Y'all want to run this thing. Y'all want to run this freaking campaign to try to make it even worse for a fight that you didn't have anything to do with. So you all will say, the Marjamal fight tanked. That's what they want to say. But isn't that what they say about a lot of fights? It's funny how all of a sudden they can get clear numbers, 200,000, 300,000, 400,000. Wasn't they the one who was up here talking about how Crawford and Spence didn't sell? It didn't do too good of numbers. It did okay, right? But the whole entire time, if you was listening to the debates, you would hear them say about Errol Spence, Mikey Garcia, how I did 350, 360, 375, 75, 78, 80, 380, 389. It depends on who you was talking to. That shit became an auction. No, man, I heard it did 490. The Mexican fans was in attendance. But yet, when it's time for Spence to go in there for Crawford, why didn't it break any records? Why? Look, if Spence would have defeated Crawford, and that's a tall can. I'm talking about a tall can of if. If he would have beat Crawford, them numbers would have been damn near up there, some record-breaking numbers. Because it would go out in that facet to boost up another fight, to boost up the rematch from the first one. So whoever wants the numbers to be at the highest point, you know what I'm saying, when it hits the general public through the media, they'll hype it up. It's nothing. They will hype it up. I hear these people just all talking about pay-per-view numbers. Listen to me. Let me ask you this question. How long are you going to use the same pathetic freaking format depending on who fighter it is and if they're liked by these certain people are going to push your agenda that so-and-so don't sell. So-and-so. A lot of fighters don't sell. It's a lot of fighters. What numbers are Nui doing? He doesn't get that talk because most of Inoue's fight is over in Japan. Y'all not talking about his fights. Why don't he have to surf this wave of criticism all the time? Why? Why do y'all just let him, dibble his toes in the kiddie pool and just sit there and say, "Oh man, I needed that. It's good to put my little toes in the water." You know what I'm saying? Just watch the sunshine. I mean, in a way, he don't have to deal with this shit. That's why I call bullshit on this numbers game. Because y'all so in a hurry to put him at the top of the pound for pound list, but you always feel like Crawford has to pass all this rhetoric, this blasphemous rhetoric, lies upon lies upon lies to solidify his presence at the top of the pound for pound list, and that's pound for pound best. So now it gets to a point where they're trying to push another agenda. You see Crawford's on his way out, right? 37 in September. Canelo's on his way out, believe it or not. But Canelo's on the way out is quite different than Crawford's. Canelo's at a point where, of course, he has Mexico, his country, backing him. And he has other people that believe in him. Okay, I get it. But see, you have to look at Canelo and Crawford. They two are the same, to be honest with you. They're different in their countries where they come from, of course. But when we seen Canelo coming up, Canelo didn't say much to the media. He was never a garrulous type of fighter. He wasn't a chatty mouthpiece. Canelo really didn't even speak any English to the boxing fans back then. So how do you all praise him like he was in the media building himself up? Yes, it came from his country. Where were y'all when he was fighting in Mexico? Half of his career's in Mexico. Where was he in the media? How did he excel to a point where he didn't have to do much talking? But y'all sit up here and scoriate Crawford for not talking to the media in the U.S., and you say that hindered him. But all the fellatio mongery, platinum giving, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know who you are. Stallions. Fellatio stallions. Y'all would sit up here and push a narrative that Crawford should have talked to the media more, when there's plenty of fighters that don't really talk to the media like that. And you all always have your finger on their back. Always. These foreign fighters that you love to embrace and rub baby oil on their back and behind their ears and make sure you massage their scalp. Yeah. They don't talk much to the media. They don't talk much to the media. How often have we heard Gennady Golovkin in the media? No, y'all boosted him up. He's the Terminator. He's the one. Oh, man, you see what he did to Kell Brook? Oh, man, you see what he did with this, did with that? Y'all was boosting him up. He didn't talk to the media that much. No English. There's plenty of big names that barely speaks to the media, bro. The reason why I'm bringing this up, because whenever it comes to Crawford, people always say and pull the same strings, man, and the instrument is broken. The violin is freaking broken. It's not playing a full melody. It doesn't matter if you listen to read the music. It's over. It's over. I can name you a surplus of fighters that don't talk to the media. So they say, WCS, why you mention the talk? Because now they're trying to bring back up something that doesn't have to do with the present. And the present is, they're trying to say, once again, Crawford's proven he don't sell. Okay, if Crawford is getting have to support a Turk Al Sheik, and we can ask a question on who Crawford is signed to. You know what I'm saying? Before it was all about Crawford being signed to Top Rank, he need to leave and then come over there at the mercy of the Grand Poobah. And then that fiasco, ran its course and then slowly slithered off the side of the road into the freaking sewage drain. So now all of a sudden he's been talking behind the scene. He got to support a Turk Al Sheik. But in order to make Crawford look bad, it has to be a trifecta. They have to start moving the pieces. They have to turn this into a boxing monetary hypotenuse. You know what I'm saying? This is what they're going to do. They're going to try to defame Turkey Al Sheik all of a sudden for making these fights over here, right? Even though a lot of people getting paid to try to say, yeah, he's back in Crawford and he has the finances to make the Canelo fight. But no, we're going to say Canelo has a right. People's talk Canelo. Canelo has a right to stall him out. Canelo has the right to go online and say, "Oh, well, I don't want to, he don't talk to me. It's going to be my way." Negro, if you don't stop, somebody's going to be your way. You ain't did nothing your way to have a $200 million fight. You ain't did nothing. And then a fighter that you criticize, David Benavidez, you criticize the heck out of this dude so damn much. And you price yourself out on two of your toughest freaking fights that would have gave you issues. I guess the beating that Dimitri Bivol put on Canelo really hurt him. For real. Really hurt his feelings. That's what it hurt, his feelings. Because somehow Canelo can't make up his mind. If Crawford is a small guy, he means nothing, no substance. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he was trying to insinuate that he ain't did enough. But he was complimenting Crawford when he was stepping in there with Spence. You notice that? Like he complimented Tank Davis. He complimented Tank Davis, said, "I'm going for Tank Davis." That's what he was saying. "I'm going for Crawford." Canelo co-signed. But now all of a sudden, it's shade, it's lies, it's pushing an agenda. You want people to believe that what they're trying to do with Turkey Al Sheik, Crawford, and Canelo is pretty much say, well, if we can discourage Crawford's numbers, they won't really push this wagon no more to pretty much boost up Crawford fighting Canelo. If we can get Canelo to start disowning it, treat it like it means nothing. Hold on for a second. If we can take a different angle and get Canelo to start spewing criticism and trying to act like he's going to play, mind freaking tennis, say this and this, he know the mic running, say this over here and say something totally opposite of that over there, just to get the people talking back and forth. And then to have this full-blown social media, what they call a crash out, is that Canelo is now no interest to Turk Al Sheik, because they say that Turk Al Sheik didn't send him anything, but you can talk to someone on the phone and it can be numbers talked about. I mean, it's phone calls that happen all the time. But my disappointment with Canelo is that he is ducking. He just didn't duck Crawford. He ducked David Benavidez too. And when you say Canelo is ducking people act, these fight fans totally act like it's impossible. Because it's hard to talk with a Canelo in your mouth, huh? I know, I try to tell them that. I say, I'll speak to you another time. You seem like you're juggling something in your mouth. I'll talk to you a different time. Your speech is slurred for the wrong reasons. You know what I'm saying? And all that freaking drool that's coming down. I'll wait till you get through performing your duties. Canelo's not gonna run no Sheik. Now all of a sudden people was look, wasn't they just praising Al Sheik, Turkey Al Sheik, for what he's been able to do? Now they want to talk about his finances. Oh, he's running out of money. They don't have the money. They only paid Crawford this. You think Crawford only received 2.5? Let's just say, for instance, Crawford did receive 2.5. How much of it? How much of that purse is he sending to you? Have you checked your Cash App yet? Is he sending his favorite YouTuber a stipend? Has he sent one of y'all supposedly be his A1 numero uno? All you YouTubers, have he sent you a courtesy stipend yet, just to show his appreciation? I mean, just let me know. Just let me know if he did or not. Because I hear people saying that all of a sudden Turk Ellis Sheik don't have the money people think, and they're running out of money and they can't afford this and they're losing money. First of all, let's hold up, let's pause right there. Let's halt. When you talk about losing money, now the budget's going to be high for Turkey Al Sheik anyway because he likes to pack the house. And you think he was going to come over here and not have celebs in the building, star power, royalty, Hollywood royalty in the building? Yes, he was going to pack the house. He was going to try to bring back that aura, what we used to see back in the day with the big names. Just like you saw Jack Nicholson. He was sitting ringside. Courtside. Just like when Tyson entered the building, Turk wanted to do it. But it's funny how all the way before, up to this point, we never really heard anything from the inside of what was going on with Turkey Al Sheik and his people. We just knew Eddie Hearn had been doing business with them for quite some time, right? But now all of a sudden people, the fake insiders, you know what I'm saying? The mailbox transients, the ones who stand outside the yards with a freaking styrofoam cup in their ear. Huh? Did you hear anything? Okay, I'm gonna put a different type of string on it this time. I'm gonna try. You want to try some Let's try some shoestrings this time. It might be a little bit better for the communication, a little bit thicker, a little bit quality, audio and everything. Let's try that. They're sitting up there outside people's houses thinking they're gonna hear some great information. But why all of a sudden, when it comes down to Turkey Al Sheik coming over here to the U.S., knowing damn well they have been doing things that the U.S. promoters couldn't do, it's gonna cost money. Just like he spent money for all those legends to come over to Saudi Arabia. Do you know what the price tag was on that? And you're talking about Terrence Crawford fight tanking? Are you stupid? Are you stupid? He paid for all those cats to come over there. Having one of the most legendary pictures of boxing. And you all are over here talking about Crawford fights Tank. Now, like Crawford's fight, I'm not fighting Tank. I'm just saying it's tanking as far as what are you considering to be low end numbers. But check this out too. Why would it even matter if his fights so-called tanked? His fight tanked. All of a sudden, they want to put out Crawford. Oh, he only did $10 worth of fights. They got the freaking that thing they use, that fire stick. So they always want to mention the fire stick when it's convenient for them to talk about a fighter who didn't sell fights. Well, it's quite difficult in this era for this numbers to get to this point. Stop it, man. You all continue to talk about information that you create. You have this imaginary sense of humor, but your lies aren't funny. All you want to do is create a lie, put the title out there as if something happened, but yet when you start your live, people listen in, it's not something that happened. It's just you wanting to pretend like it was actually a fact. And that's a lot of what we hear out here now. They're lying about pay-per-view numbers. They lie about, they try to sit up here and lie on boxing predictions. Oh, okay. Who actually get boxing predictions up here? At least about 5 every fight card. I mean, I've been on some parlays, man. And they crashed out. Who's up here the expert? You know what I'm saying? Who's the ones that's just hitting these parlays every time? How are we to know what's the purpose of putting these numbers out if they're not going to affect the fighters? Let's just think of the 154-pound division right now. Crawford's unified champion. Is there any type of numbers that's going to stop him from fighting another champion in 154 pounds? No, it's not at all. It's not even going to stop him from fighting if he wanted to take the fight to Omaha. Who's going to stop him? He's the A side. He was undisputed at freaking 147. Who's going to stop him? Who's going to stop him if he choose to have another fight in Omaha, Nebraska for a title? Let's just say it's the IBF title. Who's going to stop him? Now, speaking of other champions of the 154-pound divisions, I was talking with my colleague, man. We was having an exchange talking about the Sebastian Fundora situation, right? And how Sebastian Fundora was speaking about he didn't watch the fight. This was Sebastian Fundora who said Crawford is the best fighter in the world. Crawford is the best fighter in the world. Now, after they took him home and told him to drop his pants into his underwear, and they gave him a spanking. They gave Fundora a spanking. And then they told him to hold his palms to the sky. And they tapped him out on his palms to make sure that they got the results that they was looking for. But Fundora received a good old spanking. Now he want to come up here and try to play hard and say, well, I didn't even watch the fight with Crawford, so I can't comment on it. And I'm not going to announce the date because every time I announce it, they do something else. I kind of felt there was a little bit of shade going on with Fundora, but I ain't mad at him. I like Fundora. But me and my constituent was talking, and this is what he mentioned. He said, hell yeah, you're right, but Fundora coming out saying he was never medically unfit to fight just proves how Sampson really wasn't trying to line him up with Bud. Because Sampson made it seem like Fundora would be out due to injury, and Fundora confirmed, pay attention, that wasn't true. They just trying to wait on Spence. I think it's funny that Sampson said Crawford had a no-likable style. PBC dropped the Spence Crawford fight on their YouTube page 3 days ago. I watched it, and you could see Sampson's eyes glued to the ring. Sampson so full of it, just like Reynoso said he was when that David Benavidez fake 50 million offer was sent. And that was all. That was me, communicating with Blunts, and that was his reply. I thought it was a pretty thorough summary based off what we've been witnessing, in the past several months. And we remember when Sampson was making his rounds talking about Crawford has a no likable style, and he was trying to discourage any and everyone that no. You know what I'm saying? It's almost get to a point that you heard Crawford say, yeah, all these people that talk shit about me, but yet we in the same room and they want to interview. and they say it's business. Well, imagine how many people that you may like or that you thought you like that you cannot have a cordial personal relationship with because their creed, you know what I'm saying, their core values is different than yours. Their core values lies heavy on the lack of integrity that it takes for them to do their job. So they may sacrifice you, attempt to sacrifice you, Crawford, because they want to keep their job. And they're not building a mansion like you, and they're not the hottest name in boxing right there. They're not you. So they don't care to have a friendship with you. They just going to continue to dog you out. And when they see you in person, they're going to do what? Hey, champ, good to see you. You know, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. But help us all understand something, right? When it comes to the sources. Fundora is supposed to be a big fight for Crawford. But like I did the live the other day about Errol Spence may allegedly have some eye problems going on with his detached retinas. I put it out there for y'all. So when Blunt said Fundora, Samson made it seem like Fundora would be out due to the injury, and Fundora confirmed that wasn't true. Because I was telling Blunts, I say, how long does it take to repair a freaking nose? Are you going to get that new bionic astronaut, freaking planet, moon rock, freaking cartilage in your nose? Are you getting some Marvel comic / Incredible Hulk DNA with a tad bit of King Kong Godzilla in it? So to him say that to hear it in a sense like, well, we're waiting on Spence. See, I didn't say anything about my sources. All I'm saying, Spence got some eye issues, and that's why Spence is prolonging this fight. Now, it was at one point in time that the fight was going to be off, but we all know what Team Spence them do. What they do, y'all? If it's anything to do with Crawford, what they do? They stall him out. That's all. He just had a fight with Marjamov. He could be talking about getting another fight with Fundora. But since he won the fight, we don't know what Team Spence is going to do when it comes to Grand Poobah, Al Heyman. We don't know what he's going to do. Because they sure enough stalled out Crawford enough for freaking Ennis to pick up the IBF title and then, trolley a little bit longer and then turn around and say, okay, I'm out. Because, no, you could have figured that out last year. The reason why I'm saying that, because he told us he had eye problems before he stepped in the ring. He had eye problems a year ago. So not only did you have some eye problems, you the same one who had a problem with integrity. Because you say, where I'm from, we don't make excuses. So it's niggas lying everywhere, bro. It's niggas lying every motherfucking where. But I want to highlight something for you right quick. I want to take you through a nice little short stroll of history. Okay? I want to give a big shout out to Jahad Tucker that's going to be stepping back in the ring next week. All right? You know what I'm saying? 13 victories in. Want to give a big shout out to Team Tucker over there. You know what I'm saying? They're going to Canada. Canada just won a 4x100. So, Jahad, you might be able to, link up. When they get back, they're going to be, they still going to be in Paris by then. They may be returning. But best of wishes over there, man. To make that happen. Best wishes, real talk. I like Jahad Tucker. Like Jamali Tucker, his pops. I like the whole team, Shaw News. They doing big thing. That is one of my top 2 favorite fighters. You know what I'm saying? Top 2 favorite fighters. Real talk. Let's get to what Crawford has been able to do. Per boxing scene, this is where I was able to get these squares from. These squares are screenshots, okay? So let's take this square for instance. It starts and say Terrence Crawford, Matter of fact, let me take this. Let me make sure everything's good to go. It says, Terrence Crawford proved why he is one of, if not, the greatest pound for pound fighter in the world after winning a world title in the fourth division. I want you to just exhale while you're receiving this audio. Listen, very, very important. Crawford secured a unanimous decision victory over Israel Madrimov to steal his junior middleweight title Saturday at BMO Stadium, Los Angeles, putting the Omaha, Nebraska-born fighter in the League of Greats. Hold up. Let me highlight that. Okay, in a League of Greats. What League of Greats they're talking about? We're gonna get down to that. Who have won belts in 4 different weight classes. Crawford won his belt title in 2014 when he recorded a 12-round unanimous decision over Ricky Burns. A year later, he moved up to 140 pounds, okay, giving a little history, and to knock out Thomas Delorme in a junior welterweight title showdown, okay? People would hate on that because they saw Thomas Delorme really wasn't no champ. Moving on. After becoming an undisputed champion at junior welterweight, 3 years later, Crawford jumped to the welterweight to knock out Jeff Horn in June 2018 to earn a 147-pound belt. People, let me tell you, when he defeated Jeff Horn, who they were considered a nobody, he ended up being somebody to a lot of people. Because once Crawford gained entry into the 147-pound division, man, didn't it not turn absolutely dysfunctional, belligerent, cantankerous, rowdy? It became rowdy. It became full of mayhem, bro. He said Crawford then consolidated all 4 titles at welterweight in a unification mega fight against Errol Spence last July before opting to face Madrimov for his title at 154 pounds. The feat etches Crawford's name onto the list of excellent fighters who have won 4 or more recognized world titles or lineal championships in a different weight class. Hey, I salute you. I'm not going to clap it up because clapping, you know what I'm saying, is a much more lower form of celebration this day. But in the military, the salute is confirming. You know what I'm saying? The salute is confirming. But salute to you, champ. I know a lot of people just say salute for fun around here. I get it. But what I want you to understand is that I'm saluting you for a job well done, for mission accomplishment. That's what I'm doing, for mission accomplishment. Let's go to some members because, listen, at the end of the day, you have to look at it like this. You have to see Crawford for one of the greatest of this era. You have to grab the double claw hanger and smack yourself in the forehead and say, you know what? No matter what negativity I say about this man, I can't change it. It's damn near impossible. It's damn near impossible for you to change. Let's look at Crawford once again when he picked up the undisputed in 4-belt era. He was on a short list with Ortiz and B-Hop. I mean, Jermaine Taylor and B-Hop. A short list. And then he was on a list by himself for a minute for being the first to become 2-time undisputed. You know, he's just been on these lists where it wasn't too many people that met the requirement to be on that list. Okay? That's special. That's special. But let me show you this right here. Here's a fighter who is on that list of champions, 4 division champions. Brawny became a 4-division title holder in 2015 when he won a vacant junior welterweight belt against Khabib. Prior to that, when I said the mega met off the other day, and I went to see Khabib. You know what I'm saying? Broner had won just lightweight he had won junior lightweight. Okay, and this is what I was talking about. I think a couple of days ago, how he won junior lightweight. Which is what again? 130. Then lightweight, junior welterweight, and welterweight. In this sequence right here, he skipped junior welterweight and went to welterweight back and got the junior welterweight belt. Broner achieved the feat in a space of 4 years. Broner was hot. 2015, 2011, 2015, and at the age of 35, still active at 147 pounds. He was hot. That's one. Look at this right here. The class he in. Miguel Cotto, Puerto Rico's Cotto, who turned pro in 2001, managed to annex world titles in 4 divisions by 2014 at the age of 33. Cotto won a junior welterweight, junior middleweight, and lineal middleweight title during a 16-year career span. The retired Cotto, considered one of the greatest fighters in Puerto Rico, rich boxing history, faced the best fighters of his era, including Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, Saul Canelo Alvarez, and Antonio Margarito. We all know who that Margarito tried to end his life. He got caught cheating. Naoya Inoue, or Inoue, having already dispatched elite opposition such as Nonito Donaire, Stephen Fulton, Marlon Tapales, and Luis Neri. The monster currently reigns as undisputed junior featherweight champion and one of boxing's best pound for pound fighters. Japan's Inoue, 27-0, 25 knockouts, has held light fly, junior bantam, and junior featherweight. Okay? The last 2 in which he considered the belts to claim undisputed status. Inoue is scheduled to put all of his 122 pounds titles on the line against TJ Doheny next month in Tokyo. Another fight in Japan. Kudos. But shout out to Inoue. He did his thing. Definitely. He did his thing. Roman Gonzalez, a.k.a. El Chocolatito, man. Salute to him. I grew up off watching him, man. For real. Having achieved a somehow I can't even see that word. Level of proficiency in his 19-year and counting career, Chocolatito can be challenged for supremacy among Nicaraguans fighters only by former 3-division champ Alexis Arguello. This 37-year-old Gonzalez recently returned to his winning ways last month after losing his junior bantamweight crown to Juan Francisco Estrada in December 2022. Gonzalez, who turned pro in July 2005, has held his belts at middleweight, light fly, and junior bantamweight. He is the first boxer from Nicaragua to win titles in 4 divisions, surpassing even his idol, Arguello. Shout out to Chocolatito, boy. That dude was a hitter. Juan Manuel Lopez. And this is all from boxing scene. I'll just put it into order, okay? You can talk about the best Mexicans in recent years without mentioning Marquez's name. He represents an exquisite blend of technical proficiency, ring intelligence, and his home country hard-nosed fighting style. Between 03 and 12, Marquez won featherweight, junior lightweight, including lineal, and junior welterweight titles. Now 50, Marquez last fought 10 years ago when he earned a 12-round unanimous decision win over Mike Alvarado. Noted to go toe-to-toe 8-division champion Pacquiao on 4 different occasions. Marquez also fought the likes of Mayweather, Marco Antonio Barrera, Joel Casamayor, and Timothy Bradley, and Orlando Salido. I'm just going through the names that Crawford is in company of. The man himself, the legend, my favorite fighter, Roy Jones Jr. Fresh off winning silver at the Seoul Olympics, which I must say it was a robbery. Jones from Pensacola, Florida, turned pro in 1989 and then and has been fighting in some form of fashion almost ever since. Most recently in April 2023, at the age of 53, Jones fought a majority decision loss against then 36-year-old mixed martial artist Anthony Pettis in his boxing debut. Jones, a six-time world title holder in four different weight classes, earned belts at middleweight, super middleweight, light heavyweight, and heavyweight between 1993 and 2003. It's some good criteria. It's good criteria. You know what I'm saying? I could have sworn I already read. De La Hoya announced himself. De La Hoya announced himself to the world in 1992, first at the Barcelona game and then as a professional. He made history at age 24 by becoming the youngest fighter ever to win world titles in four different weight classes. De La Hoya won his first title in 1994 when he won a junior lightweight title. By 1997, he would add lightweight, junior welterweight, including lineal and welterweight. The Los Angeles native finished a career as a six, y'all, and they don't be putting respect on Oscar's name. Sixth division champion after winning lineal titles at junior middleweight and middleweight. De La Hoya faced fellow multiple division world title holders such as Julio Cesar Chavez twice, Pernell Whitaker, Shane Mosley twice, Pacquiao, Mayweather, losing to the latter three, only in the final decline stage of his career. Man, solid information. Shout out to De La Hoya, man. Shout out to the legend Roy Jones as always. You know what it is. Manny Pacquiao, the 8th division champion, the Filipino freaking legend. The pride of the Philippines, Pacquiao is the only fighter in the history to have won world titles in 8 different divisions between 112 to 154. Pac-Man dominated weight classes across flyweight, junior featherweight, junior lightweight, junior welterweight, and junior middleweight. He achieved a remarkable record between 98 to 2010, facing strong opposition from the likes of Erica Morales, De La Hoya, Marquez, Mayweather, among others. Pacquiao, 45, is currently considering coming out of retirement and take on welterweight title holder Mario Barrios. Why you didn't put Keith Thurman in there? Keith Thurman don't make the cut, or he just been out the sport too long, man. Why y'all gonna shade him like that, man? He was a unified champion in 147. Come on, man. And then you have Floyd Mayweather Jr. Mayweather is known for running the table to finish his career with the undefeated record of 50-0, 27 knockouts. But what made the accomplishments all the more extraordinary was his doing so across a breadth of divisions, including 5 in which he won world titles, with the lineal, junior lightweight, welterweight, junior middleweight titles, plus a junior welterweight belt to his credit, earned between 98 to 07. Floyd Mayweather remains one of the most decorated fighters in boxing history. Some criticize cherry picking opponents in the later stage of his career. Mayweather deserves immense credit for placing and investing. And when we talk about cherry picking opponents late in his career, hey, why don't you learn for the best? That's what Canelo's doing. He said, hey, if I fought Floyd early in my career, you know what I'm saying? I learned from the best. So why not, cherry pick my opponents, later on my career, in my career. It said the strongest opposition from his era including Pacquiao, De La Hoya, Mosley, Marquez, Cotto, Alvarez, and Ricky Hatton. I mean, you wasn't gonna freaking add, where he won his titles. You know what I'm saying? No Sergey Kovalev. Because whatever Floyd's do, we can just blend Floyd's whether with Canelo's record, blend it all together. Give Floyd some Mexican wins or something like that. Since it's all about I'm a cherry pick at the end of my career like Floyd did. Just blend their record together. Just do it. You know what I'm saying? Just sprinkle that shit all together, making one big taco Afro American salad. Real talk. Let me get to this chat right quick. Shout out to everyone who pulled up, of course. You know what I'm saying? I see Tough Glove boxing in the building. Salute to your brother. Appreciate you pulling up, and definitely y'all go check out and support Tough Glove, man. I appreciate the challenge that shout and tell people to go support, because that's important, man. You know what I'm saying? You got some good brothers out here, you know, putting out proficient, productive, you know what I'm saying, boxing talk and information. Do that, man. Go check him out, man. Support his channel. Shout out to Haynes Legacy in the building. Salute to you, Haynes. Prayers for your brother. Hope all is doing well. You already know what it is, man. One love and stay positive. Big Blunts and Boxing in the building. Salute to you. Shout out to the News by Shaw News Sauce Experience in the building. Team Tucker official on deck. You know what I'm saying? And since he already put it out there, well, I don't know if he put it. No, I'll just wait. I know you. I heard you talking about it. I don't know if you put out the second half of it in Newark, but yeah, I'm gonna do a live stream on that, man. I don't know if you got my message that I sent you about what you said, but I say you should hold on to that one. That's a classic. That's a classic. Jay on deck. What's good with it, Jay? Carlos Rosado in the building. Y'all definitely check Team Tucker out in Canada, man. Next month. You know what I'm saying? Check him out, man. He's due to split the ropes once again. One of the most exciting. Electric Boogie is about to dance once again with a tough opponent. Yes, sir. Blue Hustle. What's good, brother? I see you on deck in the building. What up, WCS in the chat? What it do? What it do? What it do, bro? On the Brown on deck in the building. And thanks to in Conquest, I got you, man. I didn't see your super chat in the Cash App, but I appreciate you. Real talk. Thanks for the ones who do support the channel behind the scene, and and trust Cash App, and those of you that drop these super chats out here. I appreciate you. I really don't know. Shout out to Bruce Gas, the OG on deck, man. Solid live, man. It's always good seeing Tim on deck. I hope that paperwork for that belt gets approved, so that man can get his belt. Man, boxing been a dirty game since the dirty was a dirty. For real. Hope that man get his belt, bro. What they get? B Hub talking about Bud fighting Boots. Yeah. Since you brought it up, I will briefly speak on it. You gotta understand, B Hop, man, he's one of those people I was talking about that's in this thumbnail. B Hop has agendas. He's attached to Golden Boy. You know what I'm saying? For him, a person like B Hop cannot like another fighter. So let's just say something happened. He'll turn around and say, well, Bud need to fight this person. You know what I'm saying? He need to fight Boots Ennis. When the beef is with Golden Boy is Canelo Alvarez. So while he would be talking about Crawford should fight Boots, when once again, let me explain in short form. Please go back and look at all these videos that was prior to July 29th and what they were saying that Bud didn't have a resume, he ain't fought nobody. All of a sudden, y'all taking out the freaking whipped cream. Y'all got your lace pink socks on. You got your little pink, fuchsia pink freaking leggings on. Y'all got to change your heart. Y'all up here sucking on yogurt bars and shit. Y'all have a change of heart, huh? Boots get the ultimate pass. How does Boots get the ultimate pass with his resume? He has one common opponent that he didn't even stop in devastating fashion. David Avenesian in a fight that he never wanted to fight. I mean, he never thought he was any kind of fighter when he fought Crawford. They thought it was so easy, but I'm saying, why are these so-called legends and all these people just trying to say we want the Boots fight? It's something else in there when it comes to the money. That's all. Boots is in a position where boxing is desperate for a fight for two black fighters to get the attention. Boots don't have the freaking personality to make this any bigger than what it is. He don't. He just don't have the personality. It's gonna take. I'm gonna feel right at home with my feet kicked up. Hey, Boots, what do you feel about this fight? You know, as far as stepping up against somebody with the championship stages that Crawford's been on, it's just gonna be like home to me. I'm gonna be at home. I'm gonna kick my feet up. So what do you think about his last fight with Marjamov? You know, I was bored. I really didn't see the fight. I was sitting over there with my feet up. I was kicking my feet up. So have you heard the criticism? You know, they were saying like the pay-per-view numbers. I don't really get into that. I ain't even see the fight. I was at home sleeping, kicking my feet up. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he can't say the same thing, Boots. You know, once again, I have no problem with Boots. I'm just saying, for him to build up a Crawford fight, man, that'd be tough. That'd be tough. Real talk. That'd be tough. Samson told everybody that Fundora would be out to injury. Fundora just came out and said he was never deemed medically unfit to fight. That's just upsetting, man. That's just upsetting because we knew the lies were out there. I told you. I told y'all when he talking about Crawford has no likable style. Who does that? A hater, an agenda pusher. You know what I'm saying? Load up the carriage. Load up the carriage. We're gonna goddamn take this around on a goddamn a stampede around boxing. We're gonna hog tie these guys. Everyone knows Spence don't live a lifestyle of a boxer. He has to hit the 1 a year Weight Watchers program and still about to get smashed if he steps in the ring with the Towering Inferno. But from what I heard, Haynes, you know, it has something to do with his eyes. That's what the prolong is. You know, he's having those peripheral issues that was mentioned a ways back. You know what I'm saying? He was having these peripheral issues. And it's not the first time it's been, you know, on the table for open discussion. But people don't want to talk about it right now because they want him to come back to the ring. See, they desperate. They want some type of retrieve. They're hoping and praying that Spence can go in here and beat Fundora. And that will provide him a different jetpack to where they're trying to send him to the Crawford universe. That's all. If this rematch is going to happen, Spence has to go in there and make solid damage. I'm talking about brutal damage work of Fundora. He needs to flatline Fundora like Brian Mendoza. And the only way that's going to happen is that Sebastian Fundora get the orders. Just like Samson lied about sending the offer to Eddie Reynoso to fight Canelo for $50 million. Shout out to Town Biz, man. What's good? It only takes 3 weeks at best for a broken nose heal. Well, you know, they was talking about November, December, and all that. He was just making up crazy ass dates, man. Pissed me off. Samson just don't want Fundora to fight Crawford. True words, bro. Hey, appreciate your concourse for the donation to the super chat, man. Lighting up the tree of life for WCS. I appreciate you. Always supporting the channel and the others that drop in and do the same. Henry on deck, I see you. What's good? But yeah, just wanted to do a little hour, but you know, pay attention to the thumbnail. It really has some, you know, little small stories on how boxing is going. They pick and choose which fighter they want to, you know, pay attention to detail and break down to the general public to basically influence the boxing fans not to pay so much attention to the Canelo. Because if they can say Crawford is a non-seller, Canelo can go ahead and say, "Oh, he ain't selling me nothing." So Turkey Al-Sheikh, since Crawford ain't selling, and I'm gonna do most of the work, I mean that can't fly no more. You can't sit up here and tell Turkey it's gonna be what I want to do. Man, that's some prima donna shit. Like, right? You know what I'm saying? That's some prima donna shit. It's gonna come upon a time that Canelo is gonna look back and say, whatever the money that the Turkey Al-Sheikh was offering him, I'm pretty sure it was respectful and fair. But if he would have took that money, Turk was trying to say so we can announce the shit in February. We wanted to announce it after this fight. We wanted to announce it after your fight or whatever. Have Crawford come in the room after you go over there and knock Edgar Berlanga out in 5 rounds. You know, they could have announced the fight just like they did with you and Gennady Golovkin after you beat Chavez Jr. They could announce it after your fight in September with Berlanga that Crawford, Terrence Bud Crawford, and Canelo Alvarez will be fighting at 168 pounds in February for the unified titles. Now we go through the new year with a different type of confidence, anticipation, suspense that Crawford and Canelo, the biggest fight in boxing, is now happening. We've been going from year to year on some bullshit. We went from year 23 to 24 trying to find out if Crawford and Errol Spencer's going to fight again. And then from 22 to 23, what were we doing? We was waiting to see what the fight date was going to be for Crawford and Spence. So it's been some goddamn carrot dangling going on here. Damn. It's crazy. But those of you who want to donate, there go my cash app right there. $ WC Sports. And the rest of you, you can donate to the channel. You know what I'm saying? If it's available down there to you. Until next time, shout out to the hottest chat in the MF and game. Salute to you. We should do it again. Definitely going to talk about some of these other freaking scenarios they trying to come up with that a lot of it don't make sense. I see them shitting on Pitbull. You know what I'm saying? 1 minute he's the best thing popping, and then you get Rolly Romero coming out here talking about he was a never good champion because he caught him on a bad day. I say, man, you had a bad day against Tank too. You know what I'm saying? How many bad days you was gonna have? You had a bad day against Barroso, and then you have a bad day against freaking Cruz. Man, somebody get this man some help. Somebody find and get this man some help. Rolly coming up out of the closet now talking some shit, and nobody hold him accountable for it. But y'all enjoy y'all Fridays, man. I'm thinking about doing a panel tomorrow night. Just letting y'all know. Salute. Stay vigilant. Peace. I'm out.